Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna make a fucking video today. It's been a while. I have been active, but mostly into my group. Sorry, just I'm very bad at being consistent with things in my life. But yeah, I want to start more actively sharing trades on the Facebook group and YouTube videos. So I'm gonna make a video today, just basically going over the down move we had and also why I bought the dip, what my thinking was, if I can remember everything that went on at that time, and also where I think we're headed to. So I have been looking at EOS. EOS made a big here. You know what? I'm gonna pull up this chart instead. One sec. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically go over the trades that I'm in right now, where I'm looking to take profit, how I'm looking to manage my trades, and so here we go. Let's get into it. So I have Bitcoin Finex, I have EOS Bitfinex, and I have a big position on ADA, and I'm watching Litecoin as well. Um, on Finex and Bittrex, I'm playing these two pairs on Bittrex, and then on Bitfinex I'm playing these two pairs. So first things first is I'm going to clean up the chart a bit. Uh, you know what? Let me just go over Bitcoin first, and then once I get over Bitcoin, I will. Oh, why the fuck is it doing so bugging? Let me reset this. I have no idea why it's being so fucking slow. Yeah. Also, I'm going to post the link below a Telegram group. I'm going to turn this Telegram group into a free chat. So then I'm gonna have there's gonna be a free chat. You guys can ask me questions about the market, and then I'm gonna have a premium group chat, and I'm also gonna have the premium signals chat. So those premium groups, premium chat, those are optional. But then I'm gonna have a free one for the community. And then Facebook, I'll just post updates or whatnot. And then the YouTube channel is always gonna be where I can share my thoughts and teach you guys how I trade and my trading process. Okay, Bitcoin. Okay, so with Bitcoin, I think we should move this to a 4 hour. And, I'm gonna just clear up this chart a bit. This and this, and let's just do price action. So Bitcoin was being heavily suppressed here and heavily suppressed here, and this would Wyckoff would call the markdown process, where you're kind of squeezing everybody in the market to your ideal entry price. So if you actually watch order books, if you watch like BFX data, for example, which is this site here, that kind of shows you come on, basically shows you the sell walls and whatnot during these markdown processes, right? Where it's very sharp decline. There's usually a lot of FUD going around the internet, and there's also just this unrational selling. You know what I mean? And the irrational selling is just to get you to be like, fuck, this thing's gonna go to shit. I better sell. I better sell. I better sell. And then it drives the price down. And then from here, you see these huge volume um, bars that come in. This is basically the manipulator saying, okay, cool. I got the amount that I need. And now I'm going to raise the price up to start unloading, And then you would say, like, for example, these are his supply zones. So this is where majority of his sell sell orders are, and he's trying to play this game of accumulating and distributing, accumulating, distributing, controlling the market or whatnot. So after these big volume clusters, whatever you want to call them, there is a move up, and in that move up, you see there isn't really a pullback. It's just moving slowly up, slowly higher, 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 getting pushed, getting pushed, getting pushed. Then you get somewhat of a pullback, right? Sell off or whatnot, and then it continues, and then the market at these points when they're selling and they're getting out of the market, they're kind of like thinking like, well, where should I get back in? I want more confirmation. Some people place orders here, they never get filled, and then eventually some people just give into it. Very few people have the discipline to just stay out of the market until it returns to an area they want, and very few people have the discipline or the skill to take profits in these different areas, so that if you're taking profits here, you look forward to buying it back here. But if you're never taking profits, you're more likely to get caught up in these aggressive moves down. So now we're seeing the same thing. You see how this thing moved up, moved up, moved up? I'm expecting the same process of this moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, either to 94 area or to 98-ish. Basically where this downtrend line is. And from here, I expect selling. The selling could bring us all the way back down here. It could bring us halfway, probably, but I think more or less bring us back down to like 82 area. So this is kind of where you want to take profit if you're in Bitcoin. This is kind of where you want to take profit if you want to short and hedge your position, because it's not really pulling back the way it's supposed to. The angle is starting to move way out, but if you just kind of look over and over on these big volume spikes, there is this chart pattern of just, marking up the price like this, with minor pullbacks. So even if there's a pullback, I expect maybe 85-ish, so and so, nothing really too crazy. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. The dip, why I bought this dip in particular, I'm going to show it to you. I think I was looking at it. Okay, so what had happened originally was that the price had. I was waiting for the price to come to 95 and 2000, 72,000 area, and it got here, and I was on this stupid chat, this whale team chat, and it's called whale pool, but fucking it should be called fucking people getting wrecked pool, because very few whales and more just kind of people that overtrade, you know what I mean? And I had this downtrend, John, because we were in this channel, right? We were in this parallel channel, right? And then when we broke out of it, I waited for a retrace, and I got some Litecoin, and I did make some money on that move up. However, it was really choppy. It was a lot of back and forth, sideways. And you weren't sure, is this thing going to drop more? And every time it dropped more, it would look like it was strong again. And it would drop more, and it would look like it was strong again. And here you had this big move up, and then I was in around here, and then it sold down on me, and then I put a stop loss, and it went up, and basically I made no money. And the move continued down, and then we ended up in this other channel, right? More or less. And what happened here was 95 became a support zone, 75 became a support zone. But everyone was expecting a bounce at 75. There's a lot of orders, but if you look at the volume, it wasn't like a spike. You need like a spike like this. It wasn't a spike. And it made a double bottom, and then it made a triple bottom. And on that triple bottom, people bought in. They thought it was supported. You see all these people that bought in? They bought in, and then what do? They put their stop below right away because this is a very aggressive move down. They put their stop below at 75.22. And I always try to look for these uh, these levels in the market because usually whenever they break, that's usually they do break at some point and they break and they get bought up, right? Because people are like, oh shit, it broke support. This thing is going way down. Like as soon as this, if you had it stuck in your head that 7,500 was the bottom and it broke, was the absolute bottom. Like you were just arrogantly confident at 7,500 and it broke, you'd be like, oh shit, this shit's gonna go to 6,000 now. So you stay out of the market, and this is where you know the market maker is able to achieve shitload of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And can buy a lot of it, and you would see the big, huge volume coming in from here, right? Way more than the first 7,500 area. And if you looked at the RSI around this time, it was at the 4 hour. Okay, so you know, so what I'm saying is on the 4 hour RSI, the price of Bitcoin, right, was trending downwards, right? However, the RSI from here was trending upwards. So meaning that this selling was being sold, no one was buying. That's why the RSI is reflected in it, right? But over here, as it's falling, this guy, he's not just buying everything here. This guy has like maybe like, you know, $10 million, but however much money he has, he can't just buy it all at once. It will cause the order books to get like cleared out, and the price will go up too much. So he buys a little bit here. See like this green spike? You know, he'll buy a little bit here, and he'll buy a little bit here, and then he'll buy like a little. Then he'll buy the rest here, or here, here, wherever. You know, and that becomes reflected in the chart. And you see it on this bottom here. That the next bottom is a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher, meaning that the RSI is indicating some kind of abnormal volume coming in relation to the trend it was at before. And all these points are where positions are being taken. So this is on a 4 hour. So on a higher time frame, these divergences have a lot more meaning. You know what I'm trying to say? So I was like, and plus when I saw the break of that triple bottom was very telling of how the market is thinking alike. And always after those things, when you see big volume coming at the bottom, you just fell into the trap. The big volume after the break, that confirms the trap, right? Because if it is really a break of no demand at that level, $50 later, it's not gonna be all time high volume. You know what I'm trying to say? $200 later. So at 250 we hit it, and then I bought in. I bought in, and it was a good buy, and we continued up. I sold some a little bit too early up here because I was expecting a pullback, and we had this big green volume because of some news that came out saying that at the G20 that they're not going to regulate cryptocurrencies or whatnot. So it caused this thing to just shoot up right after it was bought. You know, say what you want afterwards. And to zoom out also, um, I looked at this as another sign of confirmation. is this trend line, which I have shown you guys in other videos before, is the beginning of this 5-wave structure up, right? So this goes, and if you drew it to the wick, you would have missed it. But I had it drawn also without the wick, and it came right to that area. So that was a sign that this, you want to buy it with this volume, with the divergence, and with the contact of this trend line. You definitely want to be in that trade. You know what I'm trying to say? That's a high probability trade. You know what I mean? Like when you're just randomly buying here and here and here, you know, people that buy here, they're just kind of fixated on the price. They're not really fixated on what's really going on behind the scenes, and or just with the indicators or whatnot. So yeah, I bought that. There was good volume. There was the divergence, and then there was the break of that 7,500. And then another thing was also, if you had drawn a fib from the bottom to the top, you would see that we made contact with the 78.6 fib, which is, you know, which is a common fib. And also there was this wedge, you know, it was the bottom of the wedge that we just broke as well. I had it drawn. I had the wedge drawn. Sorry, like this. So all these things came together. And, you know, someone in the chat asked me, because some people in the chat, they weren't buying it, they weren't sold on it. They were, you know, caught up in the uncertainty of the market that big moves down bring. And I said in the chat, like, if you're not buying this dip, you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what you're really doing in terms of observing the charts. And they asked me afterwards, like, what did you mean by that? And this is why I'm making this video, to explain all that. For the next time there's a dip, to keep these things in mind, you know, because these same traps, they work over and over and over because people are oblivious to them, or people get, you know, caught up in the emotions of the market, or people are too sometimes they're too arrogant in their analysis. They have an analysis of the market, and they're so rigid and stuck in thinking that that's exactly it, that's how it's going to play out, and they kind of get fooled fooled by randomness of their own analysis. So that's kind of basically what I saw. And, I think this is going to make a move up, and then I think it's going to continue to sell down in this zone. And this zone is, I'm thinking end of April, you know, middle of April, end of April, maybe even April. I think is where we're going to get this bottom, this $4,500 bottom. From 4,500 to 5,000, I think that's going to be the bottom. There is a chance too that we push through here and we hit 3,000 as well. And then from this, when you hit this 3,000, I could see us closing the weekly or the monthly candle above this trend, and then continuing up. I still leaning on this continuation up. There's just too much going on in the space for me to think that, you know, Bitcoin can't have another run. I think you could easily have a run. I think all the people that shook out here and sold will regret selling and buy back into the market. But you know, to me, this is just a squeeze. This is a squeeze on the market. And people say this looks like a typical bubble. Yeah, it does, but like, um, let me explain something to those same people. Yeah, this looks like your typical bubble, but didn't this look like your typical bubble too? This looks like a typical bubble until it doesn't, right? And then it continues up, you know? This looks like your typical bubble until it doesn't, and then it continues up. You know what I'm trying to say? And now they're saying this looks like your typical. Well, what is the difference between this fractal, right, and this fractal? They look really fucking similar, you know? Like this part here with the bends, and then this move up and the sell down. We have a move up and a sell down here, you know? This could continue up more, you know? So, but I think that there's a lot of people that are professional traders that want to get into the crypto space or are already in the crypto space and are looking to inject more capital, and they understand, you know, price structure and what makes the chart look weak and a fully corrected chart. And to me, like, when this zone hits, their money will enter the market and we will get a good bounce. And if the rest of the market can kind of follow through, then I think that money will stay in the market. If from this bounce, you know, it looks like no, the market can't sustain itself, that money will exit the market and we will go downward. But I think Bitcoin is going to be the story for the next, 2 3 years potentially. Crypto is in general. There is a consensus conference happening in May or June, and I think that will really drive the price back up when that conference happens. So yeah, that's basically my Bitcoin post crash update, and I'm going to explain, for example, what I think is going on from here, and I'm going to explain that with the volume profile indicator. And okay, so this area right now, this 7,000, 8,200, 8,250, 300 area, this to me, I don't see the price pulling back past this yet. I see the price continuing to move up, and then around this area, this 95, 94 area, I expect to sell down. And it could happen today, tomorrow, and just like how it's sold out, I can see it selling down a bit back to these areas, back to the 9,000 areas, holding the 9,000, and then making a move back up to this top, which is 8, 9,000, 1,000 area. And I could see a pop up to this area, 1,100, 1,200 area. And then I can see a big sell down after that. Like I told you before, when you see these big volume come in, and then you see this kind of squiggly action, this markup action, where, you know, the guy who bought the dip is just buying to support the price and causing it to pump more and more. I think he's going to distribute out in these zones, in these levels. If you go on the daily chart and you put the cloud, see, the problem is I have this cloud setting that I'm thinking about not using anymore. My cloud setting is 26. It's supposed to be 24 hours, but end of the day, it's like, what's the average person using? Are most people using that, or are more people using the regular settings, right? So I think more people are using the regular settings. So I think we should use the regular settings too. And if you look at the regular setting, it matches up with my prediction of testing this area, this 9,800 area, and selling down. And I think from that sell down, we will go something like here, something like here. And then if we break out, I think we will break out like this. And then we will break out to this 1600 area. And this 1600 area was a lot of selling, red bars, all this selling. it could be the same story, and then it could sell us down deeper. But this would be a great setup because, like I said, the market makers, the people controlling the market, determining if the market's going to keep going down, if the market's going to giving these markets bounces and stuff like that. They, they these guys have the power because they accumulated so much Bitcoin back here. Right? This is the people that are doing these moves here are the guys that bought here, 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 and they're just they're controlling the price action of Bitcoin, and they do this around all kinds of different markets. It's not just Bitcoin. Um, but what they do is, if, they use these areas of bullish TA in bearish markets to fuck everybody and get the liquidity they need to sell a lot at a good price and not get wrecked with slippage or whatnot and drive the price back down more. So this setup, if you ask me now, I would say it'd be a fake out because even the volume profile here is really low. So you would expect, at 1200, a big sell down. And yeah, that's kind of where I think Bitcoin is headed. Um, I think if we do pull back, we could pull back to 8200, or I would say maybe 8500, or keep it, or yeah, 8500. Uh, sorry, this 4 hour. Maybe back to 8500, up here down to 8500. Wash out all the stops that were under 9000, and maybe thrust the price up to that zone, that area. So that is my Bitcoin analysis. And I'm going to go over quickly. I'm going to go over my ADA trade. Um, ADA, I'm looking to get out around this area here. Yeah, this area here, this yellow line. Volume, this thing will go up here and fall back down to maybe 21,000, uh, maybe 17,000. Who knows? Let's see. The 18,000, yeah. So I'm looking for a sell off at 25,000, a buyback at 18, because I like to swing these things. I like to sell half my shit or all my shit here. And when Bitcoin gets to 94,000, 98,000, this will top up around here. And I will look to buy back at the bottom of this cloud and this point of control zone. And after that, I am expecting a move up more to potentially 35 area, or 30 area. If Bitcoin goes to 16,000, 12,000, this could pretty much go to 45 cents as well. So I'm very mindful of that as well. Uh, Back and forth trades. I'm going to go over EOS as well. I made some good money with EOS. I think it's getting ready to pull back, or it's going to pull back a little bit. It's got a little bit more juice in it before it pulls back. The pullback zone I have is $55.03. If you go on the 4 hour, around here, or bottom of this cloud at best, or I'd put a bid also here at $4. This would be a healthy pullback, and this would just be whatever it wants to be. I have a sell target here around $6.60, $6.50, right where this cloud is. So I expect this to push a little bit more up to this cloud and then pull back. Pull back all the way down here, pull back to that 53 area that I have. This thing, I will show you what I'm looking at on a bigger perspective. This thing, if it goes to 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 Bitcoin, this thing could go to the top of the daily cloud as well. Right, the daily cloud here is at $9.50. This is also very possible, because what I'm seeing here is a clear channel. Right, we're in this clear channel that started up here, and we were trading at the bottom part of the channel. If I draw this, here's my fib channel. So, we're at the bottom of this fib channel, and we have a lot more room to go up here. So the cloud being, this 618, 786 zone, which is usually a short zone as well. I would look to take out profits here and here. We might even hit the top. I don't know. If we hit the top, we go through the cloud, so that's really bullish. Top would be $12. I still think we're going to go down more, so I'm going to ride this thing up to around this $8 area, the $7 area. There's one zone here, 7.3, and then afterwards we could go as high as 9.8. And I'm looking to short in this cloud, because this thing, if we're going to go deep, Bitcoin is going to go deeper, 3,000, 4,500. This thing, I'm projecting it to go as low as $1 to $2. I think that's the bottom of EOS. So I'm going to ride this up, then I'm going to ride this down, and I'm going to show you what I'm predicting from here with a wave structure that I think is playing out to a T. Oh, look at this shit. This channel. So the wave structure that I had here was horizontal wave, the 7,300. So I'm thinking, this was the first wave, right? And now we are dealing with the second wave, and I think the second wave could go up to 9.6. It's looking weak here. This could be the top, or it could go up a little bit more. If Bitcoin pushes to the 9,400 and sells off today or tomorrow, then I would give it up to here. If Bitcoin pushes to 9,800, it could go here or here. If not, I think it's just going to go to 6.3, 6.4 at 9,400 Bitcoin, and then 9,800 Bitcoin. I would give this to 6.6. So I see this happening, and then from here I see a pullback. Where is that pullback going to end? The pullback could end here, 4,800 area. And then from here I see a move to here or a move to here. This also could stop at this area too. Actually, I'm more inclined to think that it's going to stop here, because whoever's pushing this price, I don't think he's going to want it to pull back too much. But yeah, it could easily pull back to 4,007, and then I would say no, $4.07 70 cents or $5.30, and then I see this third wave coming out of it, and this third wave could go up to $10. This third wave could go to that cloud, depending on how bullish it is, and then I see us retracing this move, filling these gaps out, and yeah, I'm looking to play EOS on margin. So on margin, I'll show you what I do on margin. On margin, I will. So I margined it up here, right? 6.2 I sold. So now I have the cash in my account. The cash in my account, I placed bids at 5.3 and 4.7. If 5.3 holds and consolidates, and I see the same kind of pattern, that squiggly marker pattern, I will take this order and add it here, and then I will start to scale in a margin position that I'm looking to take profit on at my target. So I use margin USD to acquire USD, and then I place that USD at Elliott wave correction points, gap points, volume bar wells, whatever it might be, to ensure that the USD capital stays safe, and it gives me the greatest upside in ROI. So it's a very controlled, disciplined approach, but it works really, really well. And the only times it doesn't work is when I don't really follow the patient route, or when I don't let the price come to me and I chase price, because I'm not gonna lie, I chased this not here on Bitcoin when it went to 77 and we had that fake out. I chased that like an idiot, and I shouldn't have chased that. So that is EOS. And the last one I want to talk about is Litecoin. Litecoin is looking good. Litecoin is looking bullish. I'm going to eliminate this one here. I'm going to zoom out on the 1 day. Show you what I see. So we had this wedge. We broke out of this wedge. The top of the cloud is 191. I'm targeting more 187 on this move. Uh, I'm target at the bottom when I'm like 107 is a great Litecoin buy. If you're sitting in cash, if you sell out here and the market starts taking a shit and you don't know what to buy at what price, put a bid for 107, because I think there's going to be a really good bounce here. There's a lot of confluence. This uptrend line. We have a double bottom, prior double bottom, and this double bottom might break like that other video I showed you, and then it turns out becoming $100 Litecoin buy. So remember what I told you about this holding potentially breaking, hitting all the stops, the liquidity picking it up and continuing up and following up around this. So if it breaks these trend lines, don't panic. Keep in mind that sometimes there's a lot of times they're engineered to break, so that someone with a big order can get filled. Um, Sorry. So what I am seeing here is a similar pattern, this down channel, and now we're at the bottom of this channel. So there's a good chance that this channel, we went up here. So we were here, and over here, we might end up making a double bottom if we're bullish, and then pushing through this cloud. Let me get rid of this here. So let me get rid of some of these things. They're unnecessary. So we broke that line. Let me use the regular settings for this. just get rid of these to make this a little bit cleaner for you guys. So there is a twist here that lines up in a week. So interesting to see how this reacts to that. If you were to do a ghost pattern, bar pattern on this bottom, because this down move looks similar to this down channel. So if this is the bottom, it's hard to scale it. So this top hit the bottom of these wicks. So like that, yeah. So boom. This area 74, 76 is a good profit taking area. You could probably ride it to 78 actually. Expect a wick at 78 and then a move down, and I'm wondering if it's going to do this same pattern and a breakout, because a breakout here would take us to this point of control, which is $220. So there's the swing idea that I'm looking at right now. For this to work, Bitcoin would have to go to break 10K. But if it broke 10K, I could see this pattern re-emerging itself. So it happened here, and then now we had the same kind of downtrend pattern. It lines up with the twist in the cloud. And if we look at this on the 6 hour. Yeah, so on the 6 hour, this thing could even push to 183. So I have a short waiting right here at 183. Litecoin could go up to here, and then we could pull back to 155 even. Look, there's a point of control here at 178. Now we have strong resistance here, and we have the top of the cloud. So this is a really good short entry here. Even if you short here and you have enough liquidity, don't take a huge position. But if you have a good sized position, you could probably average down a bit higher and still make money on the retrace when it comes. You will have to make sure your position sizing is correct. In case if you don't want to get hit with an annoying stop. But 203 and then 220. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Once again, join the Facebook group, join the Telegram group. You can reach out to me, like, subscribe. If you're interested in joining the premium channel and being a part of all my trades while they're going live, and trades from other community members that are doing well, let me know. We're not trying to take, you have to understand, trading is a difficult skill to acquire, and you have to, I only want people that are really committed, because in this bear market, a lot of people have told me they're going to take some months off or whatnot, and that's cool. No one is it's cool. You can do whatever you want. However, I've noticed that the people that have stayed around are the people that were always taking trading seriously. I haven't been too surprised. There was a few people that surprised me that wanted to take a break, but for the most part, I haven't been surprised. Certain people that took a break because they were never really working on their skills and sharing their trades with everybody else and looking to develop. They kind of, were reacting emotional to the market, and getting wrecked, pretty much. Pretty much getting wrecked in the market. Position sizing too much, getting impatient, whatever it might be called. So if you do want to, I'd love to have more people However, keep in mind your expectations. And right now, as it stands, I feel the group chat is probably the best in terms of quality that I've pretty much ever seen. You know, and that's not to say that noobs can't talk in the chat, so and so, but when someone in a chat is angry that he woke up and his shitcoin or whatever is down, uh, like it doesn't. What does that do for anybody? Like, what does it do for you to come into a chat and be angry that you know your coin is fucking down and you lost a bunch of money when the first message that I send you after you join the chat is to read this book, watch this video, and basically learn how to manage risk and manage your trades and manage your emotion because nobody is gonna fucking do it for you. Nobody gives a fuck about your portfolio in the group, right? Obviously, nobody wants you to do bad, but end of the day, I'm worried about my portfolio. I probably care somewhat more than anybody else will because I want you to make money in the group because like I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you lose money, then you're not going to be there next month. So if I want to keep you as a member, I need to ensure that you're making money. But people, they don't really take my advice. They say shit like, "Oh, I'm too busy." You're too busy. You're too busy to add a stop loss. You know what I mean? You're too busy to play a video while you're at the gym and learn something. You're too busy to like. If you're watching Game of Thrones, you have time to watch the trading videos. You know. Uh, in reality, for the work, the effort, and the reward, there's nothing like trading. You can do less work and make so much more money in trading. You can't do that in the regular business world. There's no business where someone's going to be like, the less you work, the more money you make. But in trading, it's actually kind of true because what am I doing when I'm trading? I'm hitting a buy button and I'm hitting a sell button. When I enter into, I can get all my real work done like uh, in probably 2 minutes in an exchange. Getting in there, entering the number, and exiting, hitting the exit number, hitting the stop loss, hitting the sell target. I can do all that in about 2 minutes, be in and out, right? And that trade might make me, depending on how much money I have in my account, if I put in 10K in one trade and that trade goes up 30, 40%, 50%, which when you do buy bottoms is fucking nothing. Like, what's this bottom here? That's 133%. When you wait for these bottoms, like I like to, these are the trades I like to. I like to buy with these big volume guys and hold the position for a week or two. It's crazy how much money you can make with 2 minutes of work. Now the real work of successfully trading comes on working on yourself and the preparation. Like what I'm showing you guys, these charts, this is preparation for the trade. You know what I mean? And my preparation can be an hour. My preparation can be 7 days. It's up to me. However, the results of me doing 1 hour and picking that bottom and somebody doing, 2 months of preparation to pick that same bottom, our results are going to be the same. You know what I'm trying to say? So the work as a trader comes more in learning, reading, and improving your skills, not necessarily action. The action aspect of trading is actually better when you keep it to a minimum. Like if you're trading every day, that's too much action. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're a salesman and you're talking to 1,000 people every day, that's action that's going to probably result in better and more. It's going to result in more income. However, in trading, if you're taking 1,000 trades a week, you're most likely going to fucking lose your head because uh, you're just over trading and there isn't really that many trades that you need to take, as a whole. And to be consistent over 1,000 trades and to be consistent over, 4 or 5 trades a month is a whole different ballpark. So I don't care how fucking busy you are. Like if you're gonna play this game and you think that being busy is a solid, excuse that's gonna hold up to making sure you don't get fucked in the market, you're wrong. You're gonna get fucked because of your busyness, and you're not too. I don't care which. You're not too busy. Like I don't care. You're not too busy. End of the day, you can make time for all this stuff if you want to. If you really really want to, like you're not. If you have like fucking chlamydia, are you too busy to go and get that problem fixed with? Hell no. It's like you want to get it fixed ASAP. Fuck your boss. I gotta, my piss stings. Burns when I piss. I need to fix that. You know what I mean? So, you gotta be honest with yourself as a trader, and you really have to follow this process and learn this process, because it's always gonna result with you losing money. And I see it time and time again. People come into my chat and they come with the "I'm busy" excuse, and they leave with less money, and it has nothing to do with, and they can only blame themselves, because the market doesn't give a shit if you're busy. The market doesn't care if you have 4 or 5 kids. You know what I mean? Doesn't care. The money. You might look at your money and have all kinds of feelings towards it. You know what I'm trying to say? Your money has no feelings towards you. You know what I mean? Whether that $50 bill in your pocket is in your pocket or my pocket, money is indifferent to that. You know what I mean? You're not indifferent. You're happy when you have the $50, and you're a little bit pissed off when you lose the $50. Money doesn't give a fuck, and you have to kind of be the same way with it as well. So once again, Nav's side rant, but the stuff I tell you is lessons that every trader will tell you the same, and they're lessons that I've learned through kind of just getting fucked in the market, and not only getting fucked in the market by watching people fall in that same trap. It's kind of inevitable. So yeah, I don't want to make it too long. That's basically it. Hit me up, guys. Remember, bear market, USD is king. Bull market, Bitcoin value is king. So when when you're in the uptrend, you want to have more Bitcoin. When you're in a downtrend, you want to have more USD. So don't be a hodler in a downtrend unless you like to lose money. This is a swing traders market. We swing trade. All right, guys. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.